the village of Golesh, where I've been before as well, just on a big tour around the west of Bulgaria. Decided to check it out again. Looks quite the same. Different season, different feeling though. And yeah, remote, like nobody ever comes here. But it looks pretty cool if you ask me. Right? Here quite old as well, abandoned with a sort of Serbian architecture type of balcony. It's very typical for Western Bulgaria, this look. So this is Golesh, where I didn't stop the last time. It's a bit of a sad picture, despite the nice weather. It is mostly empty. And look at this beautiful Volga though. Looks like it was parked here yesterday. Isn't it just a time warp? Volga is written on the steering wheel. I wish I could drive one of these cars one time. It goes on gas, see? Volga. Love this model. Very classy. Now in Golesh there's nothing much to do anymore. Everything is closed. But we can see the old village pub here. With everything still inside. You can even see the price list for a beer or whatnot. Though I suppose it is open now and then because the plants inside are still alive. But today it is closed, unfortunately. Would have enjoyed a nice beer here in Golesh. Perhaps another day. See? Traditional village style pub. Yeah, it's not an abandoned one for sure. It still works. Has everything inside. Fridge and everything. There's a post station. It's hardly a bad village. Although I wouldn't live here, of course. Now this one's obviously abandoned. So is this one, which used to be a rich man's house. Big family house. With a basement. On the first floor, living room. Bedrooms, big balcony. Overlooking the village. There were a lot of poor people working in agriculture. But obviously also landlords and whatnot. Who were better off. They would live in bigger houses. Here's a bigger family home or vacation home built during the communist era, most likely the 80s perhaps, when housing was actually pretty affordable for everyone. And back then you could get a house for 100 leva. It will be built quickly and efficiently. Not this house is older, even though the roof's renovated. But bigger ones, like up there, are, let's say, from the 80s, 90s. That period. Were built all over Bulgaria. Some are abandoned, but many are bought because the concrete structure is pretty, pretty stable. There's no wood inside except the roof in this case. And you can easily renovate these, if you see what I mean. So you can work with these houses, and that's why they are for sale, and they are not cheap at all. Like, I cannot afford them. Not saying I'm rich, but I'm well off compared to the minimum wage in Bulgaria, of course. And I cannot afford such a house, like even if I worked for years. So yeah, standard is changing. There's a pretty charismatic church here for a small village with 3 towers, 3 crosses on top, and a bell on the outside. Down south I see the, what would these mountains be? Near Trun, I suppose. Dragoman, Trun, that area. I don't know why I just drove by the village of Golesh last time. It's hardly a bad looking place. At least there are some things of interest. This is closed, there might be a side entrance though. But look at this. But unfortunately you see that the area was never really well off. Like you have some, let's say the oldest houses 60, 70 years old, the newer ones about 30 years old, and then that's it. There was never any more development, and there still isn't. So yeah, it's kind of a rough edge here. The village never really got together or had a core, let's say. Just a tough life here, trust me. Side entrance is closed as well, unfortunately. This one is Saint Jovan Crestit. It's from 1900 and constructed or contributed by the local residents. It has a holiday on the 4th of June every year. That means that people would come here to celebrate. It's called, how do you call it again? Kurban. Kurban. Could be a Turkish word, but that's the local celebration of a church, let's say. Or of a village, sorry. There's an old obrok here in the churchyard. And unfortunately the plaster is falling off, so it's not well maintained. But I suppose it's also a bit hard if it's a big church and there's only a few people left in this place. In either case, pretty impressive. And with the old trabant here, with the door left open, makes the picture complete. I don't mean to show poverty or anything, but just the contrasts. I suppose that's interesting for the viewers. But hope there's no offense on if I show dilapidated things. It means I'm not making fun of anything, but well, it's meant in the right way.